When you think of romance, what colour rose do you think of? Is it yellow? Blue? Purple? No, it's red. It's a red rose. You may think that, wow, that's kind of irrelevant. I'm meant to be talking about colour theory in games. Well, I'll get to that later. Right now, I'm just trying to simply explain what colour theory is. Going back to the question at the beginning, you maybe subconsciously picked red because that's the colour companies use constantly. Red has been the staple colour of love and passion for as long as pretty much anyone can remember. It also has many other meanings such as anger, impulse, danger, and others both positive and negative. Whether you notice it or not, this is actually implemented into games as well. This helps game developers get into the mind of their audience. The game I'm going to be talking about in this video is the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. This includes 1, 2, 3, and 4, as well as Sister Location, FNAF World, Pizza Simulator, Help Wanted, and Security Breach. Yes, there are a lot of games in this franchise. Just to get you caught up on the basics of colour theory and what the different colours can mean and represent, I'm going to go round the wheel and tell you a few words that you may associate with the colours. Reds, as I explained earlier, can mean anger, romance, danger, strength, stress, determination, courage, leadership, and errors. Orange can mean confidence, friendliness, warmth, bravery, and sociability. Yellow can mean happiness, energy, knowledgeability, and childishness. Green can mean peace, nature, hazards, rotten resentment, health, money, envy, and jealousy. Light blue can mean healing, protection, trust, loyalty, and clarity. Dark blue can mean masculinity, coldness, fear, and tranquility. Purple can mean wisdom, luxury, artistic, royalty, and ambition. Pink can mean femininity, compassion, immaturity, and kindness. Even though white and black are classed as shades, they also have their own meaning. White means purity, innocence, cleanliness, peace, and freshness, whereas black can mean impurity, evil, mystery, sophistication, grief or loss, and confusion. You may have noticed some words can be described as the same colours. That's because sometimes they're used together or in different shades to represent those words. The meanings often change based on the hue's value and saturation. For example, something can change from nature, being good and accepting, to a hazard, being envious or sickness, purely based on the differences in value and saturation, or other colour changing factors. Now I'm going to be moving on to explaining the colour theory represented in the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. As I said earlier, the FNAF franchise has quite a few games, so we're going to be here for a while. You might want to grab a cup of tea and get comfortable. In the first game, the colour of the animatronics are all warm colours. Bonnie is purple, Freddy is brown, Chica is yellow, and Foxy is red. This is to convey warmth and comfort to the guests, the ambience helping the company spread the message that this is a fun place for your kids, eat here and give us money. They even lean into this message more in the game trailer by showing a performance where they project warm-coloured spotlights onto the characters. This changes at night when the horror sets in. The colourful lights are all gone and instead you are faced with the old, broken and ruined animatronics in a cold white light. This is showing that they are still the stars of the show, but you are in their domain now. They are cold and out for the hunt. A small and quick example from the second game is in its trailer. The text on the screen goes from blue to red. This showing us that something is turning bad in the building, and that the text on the screen is now a warning rather than an explanation as what happened to the animatronics. Moving swiftly on to a more detailed explanation of FNAF 3. The main point in FNAF 3 is that the restaurants have failed, so many years later in the future, the new company that has bought the franchise embraced the dark side and made it into a horror attraction. As you can see from the videos of gameplay and the original trailer, the game was made to look extremely run down. The building of the horror attraction is full of mold, basically falling apart. This is achieved by using green and the darker shades added to it. As well as the building being green, the animatronics are also green and rusted and mouldy and just all around destroyed after time being locked away. This is conveyed to us once again by the colour green. Green also represents the animatronics being jealous, envious of us escaping from the first and second games. Once again, they are coming to try and find us. This can also be confirmed by the speech in the end of the game.
There is only one thing left for me to do now. I'm going to come find you. I'm going to come find you.
Something else from the end of the third game is the newspaper article. This uses the colours black and grey. They represent the darkness. The company is lost again. They've lost their attraction to the fire. However, if you then snippet the image and brighten it up, then you can see that the animatronic is in the background. The black background tells us that he is lurking in the shadows, being mysterious, and that he is still going through with his evil plan to come and find us. It can also show the grief and the loss that he has been through, especially when he realises the person he is trying to find is someone that he is familiar with. No spoilers here. The next game I'm going to be talking about is Five Nights at Freddy's Pizza Simulator. As you can tell by the logo alone, this game isn't meant to be a full-on horror game. The title shows the reappearance of all of the warm welcoming colours that were used in the first game, both for the animatronics in the background as well as the title. Throughout the whole time of you playing, the game tries to stray away from dark colours, apart from now and again when the darkness of the horror game appears. When the horror game aspects come up, you can easily see that the change in colour represents what's happening. This once again in this franchise represents darkness, fear and mystery. Apart from all of the horror elements at the end of the quote-unquote days, all the colours used without are nice, vibrant, warm colours. This use helps conceal the fact that this is a horror game, as it isn't meant to be apparent until you get deeper in the game. The last example that I'm going to be talking about is FNAF Security Breach. Back when we only had the first ever image given to us, we could easily see that this game was going to be based in the 1980s. The neon colours of the shops, signs and even the decor is a sure way to show that this game is taking place in the past. Over the course of the franchise, you can see the impressive use of colour theory. Due to the fact that I wanted to go through basically all of the games to find the best uses of colour theory, may have left this video slightly more sporadic than I would have liked. However, I still believe that these examples show how much the colour is used in games to convey ambience and plot, as well as feelings. The fact that these games are still going strong today, with the new game releasing December 16th, shows that the franchise is successful with colour theory, as it is obviously one of the major parts in game design today. Thank you for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed.